Alright. Not Dynamite Delight. Now, I'm sure a few people are going to say, dude, the show wasn't bad. It's not the point of being bad. It can be good, but it also can be rushed. We are, August 24th for Forbidden Door, working with New Japan Pro Wrestling. And we got things that look like they're being set up before New Japan Pro Wrestling's show with them. And I'm like, why? Why are we rushing this situation? Legitimately, why? I do not understand. I do not get why we're doing certain things now instead of just setting it up for Forbidden Door. I do not get it. I don't know if anybody else is going to care about it. They may be fine with it. JD may be fine with it. Alex Salamonster may be fine with it. But for me personally, I'm not fine with it. Let's start. Matches. Hangman Page let's make this very clear. Having a setup where Colt Cabana is getting his ass handed to him on Collision, and we don't hear anything about Colt Cabana working with or talking or even carried by Hangman Page on Dynamite. Understand, you may know Colt Cabana on Collision, but for this to make any sense, it needs to be on Dynamite. Legitimately. And it's not. We have not seen Colt on Dynamite in more than a year. And he needs to be there to make it mean something. And it isn't. So we get this match where it's supposed to be that Wheeler Yuta along with Marina Shafir whooped the ass and choked out with a chain a Colt Cabana. I'm not buying it. Guys, it makes no sense. Why are you throwing a Wheeler Yuta at a Hangman Page? It's not necessary to do it here. It made no sense to do this here. The match didn't even need to be done, to be honest, because when the match was over, and I'm not saying the quality was bad, it was fine. But you see Wheeler Yuta bleeding. He literally gets choked out. He surrenders. Well, he gets... I guess the reason why I'm getting the ending mixed up with what happened after that was it didn't make any sense. Look, the match itself didn't need to happen. The buckshot lariat was fine. Seeing Wheeler Yuta get his ass handed to him didn't matter. And then you get Hangman Page looking at Wheeler Yuta and he's saying to him, look at you, you're bleeding, where are your boys? They ain't here, but they're here. They're not saving you, but they're here. What is the point of bringing this up again to Wheeler Yuta when it didn't work when it was Bryan Danielson? It made no sense. I'm sorry. Unless Wheeler Yuta finally is going to turn face and then go away from the Death Riders permanently, which I don't see him doing it, that was a dumb segment afterward. He should have just left them in the pool of blood where the Yuta should have laid down flat on the mat, and that would have been the end of it. Next, the first match of the tag team tournament eliminator matches. I believe that's the right way to call it. FTR versus Jet Speed. Let's make this clear. I knew FTR was going to win. There was no way they weren't too big. But let's make it clear. Adam Copeland coming out was not too big of a surprise. We knew he was going to come out because already we found out last week that he can't go near FTR. If he does, he gets fired. But he can't go near Halfway because Halfway got his ass speared last week. And we get pretty much Adam coming out and saying, you know what? I got something done. Pretty much. I made an arrangement with somebody because Halfway is making it very clear. What are you doing here? You know you're gonna get fired if you come near FTR. He says, of course, I know. Well, technically he said I forgot, but then he said I know because I got someone to deal with them. And they hurt people, and they Hurt Syndicate comes down. Why are you using the Hurt Syndicate to do a job that you could have used, guess who? Ricochet and the Gates of Agony to do it. Which they should have had that moment. I'm being honest here. You may not agree with me, but think about it for a minute when I explain this. After the ass whooping that was done, and almost spearing halfway through his boots again, but the supposing security guard got shoved in the way, but we didn't see it. Let's make this very clear. When you look at this segment with the Hurt Syndicate with MJF, which I'll come back to later, I thought, why are we using the Hurt Syndicate to do something with Adam Copeland? Yes, they don't care who they beat up. But in this situation when it's about the Hurt Syndicate, who are going to be the end bosses of this situation, I didn't need to see them now. We already know how dominant they are. And now they look like common thugs, which they're not. Yes, they do business, but this didn't make no sense. Why not give it to Ricochet and the Gates of Agony? They don't care. They're trying to make a name for themselves. And seeing that Adam Copeland paid them off would have been a lot more wiser than the Hurt Syndicate. The Hurt Syndicate didn't need a rub from Adam. But the Gates of Agony and Ricochet did. And we had this segment later in the night. What did we get? They said they whooped the ass of other teams to win $200,000. Why didn't they get that moment? Why didn't they get paid off and then make it very clear, we don't care, we'll work for anybody? That's what I think Ricochet would have said. He's saying simply, this is Ricochet, if I was writing it for him. Right now, we just got our moment. We got our moment, baby. Aha! We got Adam Copeland coming to us, saying that he needs some help. And guess what? We don't care who we have to go through to prove ourselves. The Gates of Agony. Well, the AGO, the AOJ. I'm botching here. The AOG. There you go. With Ricochet. We are the ones who will make a name for ourselves, and we will be feared or we're going to be respected. It don't matter. That is what I would have used, except when I messed up the AOG. And it should have been them. Now, let's get to the segment with MJF. I know, let's make this clear. It's already been reported that MJF legitimately wants to work. He requested Mark Briscoe. But let's make this very clear. I can leave this for the end of the video, but I'm not going to go there because it doesn't need to be that long. Mark, this is late for Mark. I might even use that as a title. We see the segment where they want him out, which maybe he's already out, or they want him out. Goes to the ring complaining about it. Then you see Mark Briscoe before his match. Makes it very clear. MJF is a dick. He don't freaking care. He's a coward. He's got a little bitty wiener. He got a kosher dick. That's what they were calling him. But when you hear again the same thing that MJF said about Jay Briscoe, he is legitimately trying very hard to get Mark over. There's no doubting it in my mind. MJF is legitimately trying really hard to get Mark over, but here's the problem. And I'm not trying to knock MJF. I'm not. Max has not done anything wrong. It's not his fault. Over a year ago, or near a year ago, if you want to be clear, Mark was so over, they could have done something then. But they chose not to. They literally chose not to push Mark. When he was so over, they could have done something and used him where they should have used him, but they didn't. He could have been Continental Champion. No. He could have been a TNT Champion. No. He's nothing. And I really like Mark. I didn't think I would like the Briscoes when I first saw them. I thought they're from ROH and they don't really have a lot of character. But as Mark has shown himself with the conglomerate, working with everybody else, he is charismatic. He is a very charismatic. Now, I don't know about Jay. I didn't watch Jay enough to really know how charismatic he was. But Mark is a very charismatic guy. But the thing is that it would have been great last year when he was hot. He's cold here. And now, it's not like he's going after the Continental Championship. He's not going after the International Championship. Hell, what did we get after Claudio Castagnoli's match with let me go for the rest. Let's make this very clear. when you saw Swerve Strickland versus what is his name? Habanero. I believe his name is Habanero. Halchinero. That might be his name. I want to make this clear. Why is Swerve going after the undisputed title? Why? Why did they put him on the undisputed title direction instead of him trying to get into the world title direction? Why? That would have made more sense. But no. Hell, you could put Swerve on the TNT title direction towards I know you're going to say, really? Look, I'm just saying to give him something more important than the undisputed title, which I don't see Okada losing. Look what happened afterward. The Collis family came out. He got hit in the back. Yes, he did get a little bit defense on Okada, who managed to roll out almost when he almost got his head smashed in. But I don't know why they would give it to him. Mark Briscoe makes more sense with Okada than Swerve does. I'm being honest here. I am. I'm being 100% honest. That's how it feels. Not because I'd like to see Swerve in the main title or I want to see Mark in the undisputed title, but that's what it looks like better for constructing the card. And I'm like, why? Maybe that might be the title. Why this show? No, why this booking? There you go. Why this booking? But that's how it looks. Now, Billy Starks versus Tony Storm. Did I believe Billy had even a shadow of a chance? No. Did I feel anything with this match? No. Was the match quality bad? No, it was not bad match quality. Seeing Athena out there was great. But now that the situation, you're wondering, so are they really going to have Athena on the main roster? It's not about her winning. It's about going to the main roster because Alex Windsor, who just came in, has now been thrown at ROH. And the thing that gets me is questioning, will they actually strip that damn title from Athena? Look, she is supposed to legitimately have a match tomorrow, on Thursday. If she drops that title, if that counts if she drops it, I will be happy. Because I'm hoping when they drop that title, they will let her go to the main roster. Because she set a record in always that will not be beat for a long time, counting if they ever beat it. Let her move to the main title. Well, look, if she's got to go up against Athena go up against a Tony Storm, or Athena goes up against Mercedes Moné, I don't care. She has 2 titles she can go after. Flat out, no problem. And I'm fine with that. Just let her drop that damn ROH title that she's defended for more than 2 years. Let her finally drop it. Because I truly believe, yes, people love her on ROH, but what is the audience level on ROH? Like Collision. Collision doesn't even get more than 200,000 people if they're lucky. How high is the ROH? How many people are watching it? I'm not watching it anymore. I literally stopped watching it because it didn't feel good. It didn't feel important. It should have been thrown on YouTube where more people will watch it and legitimately you will gauge if people cared. This is just me. I just didn't believe it. And now, will Windsor get that title? I hope she does because I want to see Athena on the main roster. I don't want to see Athena on ROH anymore. I don't want to see her there. Please, let her be on the main roster. I don't care if it's Collision. Well, actually, I'd rather see it in Dynamite than Collision, but people go back and forth. So, we will eventually see her on I'm getting ROH mixed up with Dynamite. I took an allergy medicine. Now I'm sleepy. My throat's still itchy. But let's move on. Let me give it to you like this. Will Ospreay. He has a herniated disc, 2 of them, C2, C6. He came out to explain it with Tony Schiavone. He said it's treatable, and hopefully he'll be back by Forbidden Door. Why? Why rush him back? Make him come back at All Out. I want to see him come back by All Out. Bring him back by All Out. Or Wrestle Dream in October. Give him a couple of months off to recover from this. Let him come back in October. Give him a couple of months. Or at least All Out. Give him time to rest, to recover his back, to be all right. We want him healthy. We don't need him freaking rushed back. That's what I'm hoping for. Do I believe that's going to happen? No. Now, it was a nice moment when you saw Swerve come out and hug him, say thank you, hug him because this is legitimate. He's out for the next month. Let's hope it's longer than a month because I don't think Will needs to rush back. Bring him back at All Out. Bring him back at Wrestle Dream. I don't care. Bring him back later. Don't rush him back. This is just me. Okay, let's get to the MJF segment with the Hurt Syndicate. We see in the back, after what happened with not only the Hurt Syndicate beating the crap out of FTR, but then Hangman Page and MJF having their interaction, which I did like. But then hearing you whine too much and say it's always about you, we hurt people. That is what MVP said. Bobby grabs him and says it's always about you. I don't want you in here. You out. Now, does that mean he's out? I don't know. It feels like he's out. But it's going to be a question if he is out. But here's the thing. Like I said when it came to Mark Briscoe and him, he's really trying to push Mark. And the question is going to be, what are they going to do with Mark if they push him? What are they going to do with Moxley? I truly, truly believe, because look what happened at the end of the match between Mark Briscoe and Claudio Castagnoli. Of course, Mark won, got his ass handed to him. Then the question is, why? Why is Hangman Page coming out to the ring? It's not about saving Mark. Mark gets his ass handed to him, thrown out the ring. It was already bleeding. Hangman comes out and says simply, you think I couldn't do a Texas Deathmatch? You know, me and you know that was a lie. But you think I can't do this every day over and over again defending his title. You're wrong. So let's prove it. Next week, me and you, for the title. Everyone barred from ringside. Why? Why? Why this booking? Why are you rushing Moxley? Why are you rushing Moxley before it? I do not understand. This is stupid. What this show makes me feel like, I don't feel like Forbidden Door is going to be important on the side of AEW. I'm not sure what's going to happen with New Japan Pro Wrestling because I don't watch it. But AEW, it doesn't feel important because everything feels rushed. And if you say, well, look what's happening, Forbidden Door is coming up, then why did you have another pay-per-view before it? Why couldn't you just skip a pay-per-view? Leave it off and give this next pay-per-view time to build. Because everything feels rushed, everything feels forced, and it doesn't feel like it's legitimate. But this is just me. Peace.